Hi, how are you guys doing? Good Friday. Happy, not Good Friday, but good. Hope you're having a good Friday. I hope everybody's been happy and healthy and enjoying this break, enjoying this time of uncertainty, and hope you guys are completing your assignments. I know school is not normal right now, but please do so. I'm trying to put up some fun stuff. I'm trying to give out some awards. I put up a lock the other day for people to try to guess what the code is. A lot of people have guessed. No one has guessed the right answer. So feel free to keep guessing for those. Anyway, let's dive into what we're talking about today. So, Matthew, we've been on a journey of talking about transformations literally since we stopped school in March. And now we're at a place where we're almost done. I promise you, no one expected transformations to take March kind of messed us up a little bit, and then all of April, and now the first couple of weeks of May. But we're going to be done within this week. Really, we are. I'm going to cover today a transformation of a composition. Next, we're going to talk about two more different compositions of transformations regarding dilations, and then we're done. We're going to take a nice quiz test on Google Forms, and then we're going to go on to doing some other stuff as well within this month. All right, so let's look at the worksheet, okay? If you printed it out, great. If you are just gonna look on with me and then use the actual PDF, that's great as well. All right, we're gonna talk about translating and dilation. So composition transformations is where you do more than one transformation. Let me try to say this again. A composition transformation is where you do more than one transformation. I realize that I'm not in school, so I've been talking my normal speed. And I just realized that, oh no, I gotta remember, I gotta talk slower. Oh, all right. It says that the sharing is paused because your shared window to the front. I'm not sure what that means, but let's figure it out. Let's stop the share here. Let's try again. Let's try it again. I want to make sure you can see this worksheet. Boom. That's it right there, right? Are you looking at the same thing I'm looking at? Probably not. Let me actually fix it. I want to fix it, make sure this works properly. Give me a second. I know I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties, which I normally don't have, but it's all good. It's all good. That just lets you know I'm still human out here. I see what was going on. Okay. Fixing it right now. All right, so I'm hoping that everybody has been able to keep up with the transformations we've been doing. I want to refresh your mind on translation, right? I'll refresh your mind on translation and dilation, but translation is where we slide an image. So we're going to be talking about sliding an image, and that will be whether it's telling you what is going on here. This thing is giving me a lot more problems than I thought it would. Maybe because I'm not fully focused. Focus here. Okay. Okay. No, here. That's what I need. Okay. All right. So it is working. Beautiful. Okay. Let's get this one out the way. I don't need this one anymore. Here. Translation is where you slide an image, right? So when you talk about sliding an image, you think about translation. Okay. Dilation is where we either shrink the image or we grow the image, right? We talked about something called the scale factor, and I had you guys even practice identifying the scale factor. And even on the nice activity I gave you guys on Desmos was playing around with dilation as well, right? You need to be able to identify the scale factor. Now, in this case, I'm going to give you the scale factor. I'm not having you identify it now. But in a composition transformation is where you're going to do more than one, right? More than one transformation on a point on image. Now, because I don't have enough graph paper in front of me, and it is better if we were in class, I'm not going to use actual images. I'm just going to use points. Because I think using an actual image, a triangle or a rectangle or something like that, the flipping and the moving it around could get messed up if I'm not seeing what you're doing in person. So instead, I'm going to give you points to translate and dilate. I'm going to show you how I would do it. And then what I want you to do is to do the same. Okay, so take a second. Let's look at the given bell work. It's not beyond you. It's actually separated into pieces where there's a side that says translation, and then there's a side that says dilation. So if you look at A, it's giving you this point, 3, -5. And I need you to translate this point, 3 units to the left, 4 units up. Okay? Take a second. See if you can figure that out, okay? Pause it if you need to. I'm going to go through one by one and give you the answer. See if you can figure out what A is. You need to translate this point, 3, -5, 3 units to the left, and then 4 units up. All right. So if you didn't get it yet, you can always pause it. Feel free to pause it. But I'm going to jump in right now so that way I'm not wasting too much time. If you moved it to the left, you need to remember left is always minus. So if we're moving it to the left, that means on the X, we're going to -3. If we're moving it 4 up, that means we're going to add 4 to the actual Y. So when we do 3 - 3, we get 0. Okay? -5 + 4 gives us -1. And we end up with 0, -1 as our new point. Okay? Now, I want to pause it. Now, if you got that, great. If you're still a little unaware of it, remember translation, it always ends up going like this. X, Y goes to, in this case, it looks something like this. X -3 because we're going to the left, and then Y + 4 because we're going up. Okay? Now look at B. Now B is saying, given this new point A prime, right? We just found A prime. A prime is 0, -1, right? And it says that there, 0, -1. We need to dilate this A prime a scale factor of 3. Now what does that mean? That means when we talk about dilation, we're talking about we're going to take this XY and we're going to now multiply X by 3 and multiply Y by 3, right? That's what it means. And remember, once again, the scale factor doesn't have to be, it could be smaller than 1. It could be smaller than 3. I just happen to pick 3 at this time. You'll see when I do 1/2, what happens there as well. So when I multiply X by 3, what is 0 times 3? Remember, we're using A prime. We're not using the original A. We're using A prime. So what is 0 times 3? That's going to be 0. What is -1 times 3? That's -3. So our new point, A double prime, is going to be 0, -3. Okay? 0, -3 is going to be our new point, and that's how it would look like to do a composition. Now, when I say composition is this. I'm doing a step-by-step for you so you can see how each step works out to give us the new transformation. However, there are situations, and when you get to high school, they're going to expect this to all be 1. So instead of it going from A to A prime to A double prime, it's just going to go from A to A prime. And you would be expected to do a glide dilation, where you're gliding it and then you're dilating it all in one shot, which is exactly what we did. However, I'm breaking it down to you as A prime and then A double prime. So it's really a composition of transformation, but at the same time, I'm giving you 2 different types of transformations with 2 different types of points. Okay? I'm doing this to help you bridge the gap, and I know in high school they're going to really make it clear and it's going to work out better. Okay? But I want to help you have some understanding at this level. All right? Let's look at C. C, I give you a brand new point. I give you 1, 9. Now 1, 9, I want you to translate this point 3 units to the right and then 5 units down. So 3 units to the right and 5 units down. So if I go 3 to the right here, right, if you're remembering to the right, that's going to be X + 4. And we're dealing with translation here. And then we say 5 units down, that's really Y - 5. So if I do that to this point, I end up getting what? 5, right? Because this is, I'm so sorry, it's actually X + 3. Apologies, I was reading ahead. That's why the 5 didn't make any sense to me just now. My bad. I'm so sorry. I was reading ahead and messed myself up. Okay. So it's X + 3, Y - 5. Okay. So X + 3. So 1 + 3, that gives us 4. And then Y - 5 is 9 - 5, which is also 4. So we end up getting B prime is 4 comma 4. Okay, B prime is 4 comma 4. And then if you look at part D, right, you will see that we're given this point B prime, 4 comma 4, which we need to dilate. Then I should say B prime there. I'm going to go fix that on the actual worksheet. Dilate B prime a scale factor of 1/2 to form B double prime. Okay, we need to say, okay, I'm going to multiply B prime with the scale factor of 1/2, right? What does that look like? That means I'm going to do 1/2 times 4 for the X, and then also 1/2 times 4 for the Y, right? That's what it's going to look like. So what is 1/2 times 4? Or what is a half of 4? Half of 4 is 2. So our new point is 2 comma 2. Now, on this worksheet, I don't give you a scale factor that's like 1/4, 1/8, or anything like that. I either go 1/2 or anything greater than 1. But I do want you to be aware that they could be smaller fractions that you can multiply by. Okay, but I want you to be able to at least master the concept of multiplying it by the points that we have in front of us. All right, so this is what the bellwether looks like. Now, believe it or not, this bellwether transitions perfectly into the modeling because I just used the bellwether to work for me in the modeling. All right, I want you to see that this is exactly what we're going to do in the modeling. However, I also want you to get into the habit of graphing. If you're not graphing these translations that you're doing, you're missing a major point. You're missing a major component of it. Just because you can identify the points don't mean that you're good at graphing the points. I need you to also be good at graphing them. If you need to copy down those, take a second to copy them down. I'm going to clear the text in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and now I'm going to scroll down. And I just want to show you exactly what I did in the modeling, just so you're aware. And this is what you're going to have to do on your worksheet. It's going to give you instructions, right? Given A, translate it. Then take this new point that you translated, which would have been A prime, right? The translation point, and then multiply that by a scale factor of 3 to find A double prime, just like we just did. So for example, if I were to fill in here based on our bell work, I would say, okay, so if I translated it 3 units to the left and 4 units up, I know that A prime, as we wrote before, is going to be 0, comma, -1. That's A prime. I would go over here, find 0, -1, and I would label that A prime. I would even get into the habit of going to label A. Go and find 3, 3, -5, which is A. A is right here. Right? That's regular A. Okay, A is there, A prime is here. Now, if I go to find A double prime, we know it's a scale factor of 3. So I'm going to multiply X by 3, which we said that's going to give us 0, because 0 times 3 is 0. And then -1 times 3, we know that's also going to give us something as well. So we get 0 here, and then we get -3. Okay, so our new point is actually 0, -3. Which is right here. And you would label this one A double prime, okay? And that's exactly what I did for B as well. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to label all 3 points for each one of them. So even on B, I'm going to put B in, and I'm going to make sure it says B. Then I'm going to put B prime in, put the actual location of B prime, and put the location of B double prime. This is the practice. 1, make sure you do translation and dilation together, but also practice and make sure you know how to actually identify the coordinates on the coordinate plane. This is all very important, especially in terms of your knowledge of understanding the coordinates as well as your understanding of translations and transformations and dilations too. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me in the Google Classroom, or just write a comment and underneath the assignment itself, and I will get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you guys so much for what you're doing, and this time I will talk to you later.